Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. Today we're going to go and look at your Bazi chart, or rather the Bazi chart of your significant other or the person you fancy, to see whether or not there's a deal breaker indicated in their Bazi chart. So this is mostly for people who are single and looking and may have found someone they're interested in, and you want to make sure that there's no red flag or no big warning sign. If you're already married or in a long-term relationship, you probably know the deal breakers already, or you've at least discussed them. So this is more for those of us who are single, interested, or casually dating and kind of exploring the talent pool that's out there. So what you need to do is actually plot the Bazi chart of the person you're interested in. The link is here. I will also put that particular link into the notes to this video so you can plot the chart yourself. So plot the chart not of yourself, plot the chart of the person you're interested in. Ideally, you have the date and time of birth. The time is a little bit difficult to get sometimes, especially if the person you're interested in has no interest in astrology and finds it a bit weird, but the date is fine. If you just have the date, that's fine as well. And then once you plot the chart, you scroll all the way to the bottom of the chart. Yeah, you will get a 2-page thing that looks very complicated to newcomers. Don't worry. Just scroll all the way down until you come to the section that says 5 structures. It's all the way at the bottom on the left of the chart. So you have a look there, and you will see 2 diagrams. One is beige in color and one is purple in color. We are not concerned with the purple colored diagram. Yeah, this is just an annual sort of indication of where the person is going. What we look at is the natal diagram. So what you can see here, this beige colored diagram. Yeah, this is what we're going to look at. Now, if you plot the person's chart and you get this diagram, check whether or not there is any spike that goes to the 100. So here, this person has a spike that goes all the way to 100. Here it goes to 60, here at 20, here's another 60, and here's about 50, between 40 and 60. We are only worried, not really worried, but we're only looking at those people or those charts who actually have a spike that goes all the way to 100. If everything is nicely distributed, nothing goes to 100, then this person is overall quite balanced, also emotionally quite balanced, and there's no real risk of any extreme behavior. It can be that someone has 1 or 2 100 spikes. In this case, you look at both of those, but overall, if the chart doesn't have any 100 spikes, then you are already on the safe side. Now, again, here you see a 100 spike in the purple colored diagram. Ignore that. It's not important. We are only concerned with the one in the natal chart, and if it so happens to also overlap with the annual one, with the purple one, ignore that piece of information. Yeah, just look at the beige colored one. So here we have a spike all the way to 100 in the natal diagram, and it is associated with the wood element. So you take note of, is there a spike to 100, yes or no? If it's only 90, it's not 100, so no need to worry. Only 100, and then you check which element it's associated with. So it could be wood, it could be water, it could be metal, it could be earth, or it could be fire. Yeah. So one of those 5 elements, or sometimes if you have 2 spikes that go to 100, 2 elements can be involved. So take note of that, and the element will then tell you what you need to be a little bit careful of with this particular person. Again, only if it's at 100. If it's at 0, don't worry, this is something completely different. If it's at 90, then also not to worry about that extreme behavior that we're talking about now. All right. So let's start with someone who may have a spike that goes to 100% fire, for example. So these people can be quite emotionally overbearing. They have a very, very high need to control, not just maybe you or themselves, but just control everything. Yeah, they're micromanaging everything, and they need to be in control of the situation, in control of everything that's going on. They need to know everything so that they get a sense of control. This can be very, very overbearing and can be quite extreme. If you're someone who is very independent, you make your own decisions, you may find that this person can be pushing you too far and can be quite intrusive because they need to know everything and they really like to control. So that can be a bit of a warning sign there. If a person has that spike all the way going to 100% at the fire element. Now, if the earth element is all the way at 100%, then these tend to be people who worry about everything. Everything is negative because they always worry about it, and they worry about what could go wrong, and they imagine the worst. Yeah. So they always have at least 3 backup plans to everything. Forget about being spontaneous, because obviously that's way too impulsive for these people. And so this can be quite annoying. They just worry about everything. They worry in February what to give as Christmas presents to their families. Yeah, because they're already kind of anticipating conflict and issues, and oh my God, what should I be doing? So they worry about everything. They're not really able to see the positive in a situation, and they always imagine the worst outcome. So if you are a very positive person, this can be quite annoying in the beginning. It may be quite amusing, but it can get annoying and can actually drag you down a little bit. Now, if you have someone who has the wood element all the way, or not you, if the person you're interested in has the wood element all at 100%, then these are people who may suffer from some anger management issues. So they can get extremely angry, maybe not overtly so. So they can be smiling on the outside, but they can feel like a boiling anger inside. It's not that they have an explosive temper necessarily, but it's sort of like a seething anger. And on the outside, you may not notice it unless you're very, very good at picking up on small behavioral tics. But inside, they can build up quite a bit of anger, and then they will just wait for the right moment or the right time to take revenge. So they can be quite vengeful, and you may want to be a bit careful with that. If we are dealing with someone who has the water element at 100%, then this tends to be someone who has extreme fears. They can be quite paranoid of things. They are overthinking things all the time. They are overanalyzing everything. And yeah, so they can become very suspicious of things. So being very jealous goes into that as well. So just fearful. Now, what that fear necessarily is, that you cannot tell by looking at this diagram. You have to explore the chart itself. But overall, there is very likely to be something that causes extreme fear in these people, and they're very, very suspicious and tend to be quite jealous as well. So that's something you may want to be careful of. And then lastly, if someone has the metal element all the way at 100%, these people have a hard time letting go of sorrow and negative feelings. Pardon. So they often feel an extreme negativity about things. They can be extremely sorrowful, and they can get quite depressed. They have difficulty to experience pure joy or pure happiness. There's always something that's clouding their happiness, and they always focus on the negative. So similar to Earth, but Earth is just worried. yeah, what could go wrong. For the metal people, it's already gone wrong, and then they cannot let go of negative experiences. They cannot let go of something that has happened to them and has made them less than happy. They hold on to this, and this builds then up, and suddenly everything is just very negative. So overall, they're more depressed than other people. Not everyone, but they tend to suffer from just overly negative feelings. So these are the potential deal breakers that you can detect in a Bazi chart of someone you are interested in. Again, we're only looking at those extremes that go all the way to 100, and it can be more than one. And we're not concerned with the purple diagram because that's just an annual influence. Natal is what's important. So look out for that. And especially if you're worried that you are always falling in love with the wrong person, then this is actually a good tool to just help you do a quick check as to what kind of risks you may be encountering if you decide to be with a particular person. All right, so I hope this helped. If you do have any questions, please put a comment to the video or just contact me directly. The contact details are in the notes. And please, I would love it if you liked and shared this video with anybody who is interested. See you soon.